Hello, what's up everyone? It's your boy the Crackhead wishing you all a wonderful day. Welcome to another content about Israel and the drive on Israel's coastal highways and the landscapes surrounding it. Once you merge onto Highway 6 and almost instantly the city loosens its grip. Concrete gives way to distance, distance gives way to openness, and openness gives way to something spellbinding. The highway stretches forward like a ribbon drawn across ancient land. Smooth asphalt, clean white markings, a quiet promise of movement. But what makes this journey epic isn't the road itself, it's what surrounds it. On both sides, winter and early spring have performed a miracle. The hills are no longer dry or golden, they are alive. A deep, vibrant green blankets everything. The kind of green that feels almost unreal, as if someone adjusted the saturation of the wall. Rolling landscapes rise and fall like a sleeping giant's breath, fields of which sway in synchronized waves. Olive trees stand in disciplined rows, their silver green leaves flickering in sunlight. Patches of wildflowers, yellow, purple, red, dot the hills like scattered confetti from a celebration only nature understands. The car glides forward. The rhythm of tires against asphalt becomes hypnotic. A steady hum, a gentle pulse. Vehicles pass and fade. Some drivers are rushing somewhere important. Others are simply following with the road. Above it all, the sky feels vast and generous. Driving north, the land begins to fold into gentle valleys. In the distance, you sense the direction of Haifa, where mountains lead toward the Mediterranean. The terrain grows more dramatic, hills rising higher, slopes covered in thick green vegetation. Driving south, the land opens wider, guiding travelers toward Beersheba, the gateway to the desert. And yet, even on the edges of the Negev, this season brings life. Green patches pushing back against dryness. To the east, the hills climb toward Jerusalem, where stone and greenery exist in powerful contrast. Terrace slopes shimmer in layers, each one holding decades, centuries, maybe millennia of cultivation. And to the west, beyond the coastal plain lies Tel Aviv, where the urban pulse meets the endless blue of the Mediterranean Sea. But right now, I am suspended between destinations. The highway curves slightly and suddenly the landscape opens like a cinematic reveal. Green hills ripple outward in every direction. Eucalyptus trees line portions of the road, tall and confident. Pine forests cluster on distant ridges. Seasonal streams, still carrying rainwater, slice through valleys, reflecting sunlight like fragments of broken mirror. It feels ancient. Israel is a small country, but its landscape shifts constantly. Within minutes, the scenery transforms. Flat farmland becomes undulating hills. Agricultural fields give way to rocky slopes softened by fresh vegetation. I pass an interchange. Signs in Hebrew, Arabic, and English pointing to different towns, villages, industrial parks, nature reserves. Each exit represents a separate story, a separate life unfolding somewhere beyond view. The spell of the journey deepens. The sunlight moves across the hills, creating shadows that emphasize every curve of the terrain. The green isn't uniform. It's layered. Light green wheat fields, dark green groves, almost neon grass along the roadside. Wind moves across the land in visible waves. You can see it. Fields bending gently like a quiet bow to the sky. Bridges rise and fall along the highway. As I cross one, I glance down at a valley below. A narrow stream cuts through dense vegetation. The water glimmers faintly. On its banks, reeds sway. There is something powerful about this contrast. Modern infrastructure slicing through a land that has witnessed empires. The highway hums with movement, trucks carrying produce, trains connecting cities, families heading out for weekend trips. Yet the landscape remains calm, steady, unmoved by human urgency. As I continue, I pass fields divided into geometric precision. Irrigation systems create perfect circles across the land. The green inside them glows intensely, proof of careful planning and respect for water in a region where every drop matters. Clouds drift slowly across the sky, casting large shadows that travel across hills like moving islands of darkness. For a moment, a valley dims, then sunlight returns, and the green erupts brighter than before. It feels like watching the earth breathe. The road begins a gentle ascent. As the car climbs, the view expands. Layer upon layer of hills stretch into the horizon, fading into soft blue. The further they go, the more they blur into atmosphere. It's a reminder of depth, of distance, of how small we are against geography. The spellbound feeling intensifies when traffic thins. For a few moments, it feels as though the highway belongs only to me. The white lane markings flick past in steady rhythm. The sound of the engine becomes meditative. The world narrows to forward motion and peripheral beauty. I glance to the side and see grazing sheep on a distant slope. Their white bodies stand out against the green canvas. A lone shepherd walks slowly behind them, small against the vastness of the land. Time feels different out here. Ancient and modern coexist seamlessly. Somewhere beneath those fields lie layers of history, old roads, forgotten settlements, civilizations that once looked upon these same hills in different centuries. And yet, today, everything feels fresh. It feels alive. This greenery is not just visual, it feels emotional. It softens the landscape, it invites calm. It transforms what could be harsh terrain into something welcoming. The green takes on golden undertones. Long shadows stretch across the fields, creating patterns and resemble brushstrokes on a living painting. The highway signs glow softly in the lowering sun. Cars continue their steady dance, merging, passing, exiting, life in motion. The breeze carries subtle scents, damp soil, vegetation warmed by sunlight. Even inside the car, you can imagine it. The smell of growth, of earth rejuvenated after rain. The road dips again into another valley. On either side, tall grasses ripple. Small clusters of trees form natural frames around the horizon. The sky begins to blush faintly with the approach of sunset. There is something spellbinding about driving here at this hour. The green doesn't fade, it deepens. It becomes richer, more textured, almost velvet-like under the softening light. Solar panels shimmer faintly in nearby fields. Innovation and nature stand side by side, neither overpowering the other. The highway continues forward unwavering, and with every kilometer, the landscape tells a quiet story of resilience, of seasons, of cultivation, of history embedded in soil. The sun lowers further, brushing the tops of hills with gold. Valleys sink into shadow. The contrast between light and dark becomes dramatic, almost theatrical. For a moment, everything feels suspended. Cars move silently against the glowing horizon. The green fields darken slightly yet still hold their life. The sky explodes into color, oranges, pinks, soft purples blending seamlessly above rolling terrain. And you realize this is not just a drive, it is a journey through a living canvas, a spell cast not by fantasy, but by land and light. To drive the highways of Israel is to traverse a landscape where ancient history meets rapid-fire modernization, and where the road itself is often a statement of politics and geography. The Israeli road system is designed with a simple logic. Even-numbered road, like Highway 2 or 4, run north-south, while odd-numbered roads, like Highway 1 or 5, run east-west. Highway 1 is the ascent to Jerusalem. This is the nation's most storied route, a multi-lane freeway that climbs from the coastal humidity of Tel Aviv through the Judean hills to the gates of Jerusalem. It is a road of contrast, where sleek modern interchanges like Anava, the country's first full freeway to freeway junction, meets the rugged historical church hillside. For Highway 2, which is the coastal lifeline, it stretches from Tel Aviv to Haifa. The coastal road offers scenic views of the Mediterranean. It is the commercial heart of the country, passing through high-tech hubs like Herzliya and historic ports like Hadera. Then we have the Highway 6, which is the Trans-Israel Highway. As the only major toll road, Highway 6, the Yitzhak Rabin Highway serves as the country's high-speed spine, designed to bypass the congested central core and link the Galilee in the north to the Negev in the south. The longest and the lowest highways. Stretching nearly 480 kilometers, Highway 90 is Israel's longest road. It begins at the Lebanese border in the north, skirts the Sea of Galilee and descends into the Jordan Valley to run alongside the Dead Sea, making it the lowest road in the world. It eventually cuts through the vast, arid Arava Valley before reaching the Red Sea at Eilat. Beyond the asphalt and interchanges, the highway system is a tool of frontier making. In the West Bank, the road network becomes deeply complex. Driving here is a modern, high-speed affair, but it's not for the faint of heart. With over 100 cars every kilometer of road, more than double the density of the US, congestion is a constant reality. Signs are helpfully trilingual, Hebrew, Arabic, and English, but the local driving culture is known for its assertiveness, often making a simple commute feel like a high-stakes negotiation. The Greenery of Israel is a tapestry of natural resilience and human intervention, defined by a dramatic transition from the lush, water-rich north to the carefully cultivated blooms of the arid south. This landscape serves as both a biological marvel and a deeply symbolic space where ancient native flora meets a century of modern afforestation. The Galilee stands as Israel's greenest region, characterized by pastoral valleys and mountain ranges nourished by significant annual rainfall. The terrain is home to dense natural woodlands, wildflower carpeted fields, and flowing streams. Unique cloud forests can be found around Mount Meron and Mount Hermon, where moist air trapped by the mountains creates a misty, blue-tinged atmosphere. In winter and early spring, the red-crowned anemone, Israel's national flower, covers northern and central fields in vibrant red carpets. Traveling south, the landscape shifts into a managed mosaic of agriculture and urban green belts. The Jerusalem forest forms a green belt around the capital, featuring ancient stone terraces with olive trees and modern hiking trails. The central coastal plain is a blend of natural open spaces and productive agricultural land, serving as a critical ecological corridor. In the arid Negev, greenery is often a direct result of innovative technology like drip irrigation and dedicated afforestation efforts. The Yatir Forest. Located at the desert's edge, this is Israel's largest planted forest. It serves as a global research site for combating desertification and carbon sequestration. The Kibbutz Greenery. Communities like Kibbutz near Oz have become famous for their legendary gardens, proving that drought-resistant trees and clever planning can create lush oases in harsh desert conditions. Since 1901, the Jewish National Fund has planted over 250 million trees, helping Israel enter the 21st century with more trees than it had 100 years prior. While early projects heavily favored the Aleppo pine, modern efforts focus on a broader mix of native species, including carobs, oaks, acacias, and terebinths. The olive tree remains a central symbol of the landscape, representing steadfastness and a deep historic connection to the land for all who live here. As the journey nears its end, the highway no longer feels like just a road of asphalt and painted lines. It feels like a living thread stitching together hills, valleys, cities, farms, and stories that stretch far beyond what the eye can see. The engine hum that once sounded ordinary now feels ceremonial. Every kilometer traveled has carried more than distance. It has carried perspective. The green landscapes that lined the highways were not just scenery, they were a reminder that even in a land known for heat and stone, life surges forward with astonishing force. After rain, the hills rise clothed in emerald. Valleys bloom without announcement. Fields ripple like oceans under the wind. Driving across Israel's highways, you witness contrast in its most beautiful form. Modern bridges arc over ancient soil. Fast-moving cars glide past land that has been cultivated for thousands of years. Solar panels reflect sunlight beside olive trees whose roots have gripped the earth for generations. And somehow, it all fits. The road does not dominate the landscape, it weaves through it. You pass exits leading to bustling cities and quiet villages, toward the coast where the Mediterranean breathes calmly against the shore, toward the highlands where stone and greenery embrace each other, toward the south where the desert waits patiently, knowing its season will come again. But what stays with you most is the green. The way it softened the hills, the way it shimmered under afternoon light, the way it transformed ordinary stretches of highway into scenes worthy of awe, There is something humbling about driving through a country where distances are short, yet landscapes change so dramatically. Within an hour, you can move from coastal plains to rolling hills, from farmland to forested ridges, and in each shift, the land reveals another layer of itself. As twilight settles and headlights begin to glow, the greenery fades into darker shades, but its presence remains. You carry it with you. The memory of fields swaying in the wind, the sight of valleys unfolding endlessly, the quiet majesty of hills rising beneath a white sky. The highway continues forward, but something inside you slows, because this journey was never just about reaching a destination. It was about witnessing how alive this land can be, about realizing that even while engines roar and traffic flows, the earth remains steady, breathing, growing, enduring. And as the final stretch of road approaches, one truth becomes clear. The highways of Israel are more than connections between places. They are corridors through resilience, through history, through beauty. And long after the car comes to a stop, the image remains. Endless green rolling beneath an open sky, whispering that the journey, in some way, is still continuing.